Hi, Faisal.
Hi, Shelley.
It's so good to see you.
Yeah, you too. You too, really.
I know when we talked earlier, we were talking about essence and the nature of essence and ethics and morality. And I actually haven't heard anyone talk about essence in that way before. So I'd be really interested in more about that.
Oh, yes, I really love this subject. The subject I always felt it long time ago since the discovery of essence, long time ago. When I had my spiritual opening and I began to realize there is another realm existing, coexisting with us. And this realm has variety of energies, and varieties of qualities. And it's mentioned here and there, not much elaborated, but then it began to unfold. You know, from 70, I think 677 till now, unfolded. And through this unfoldment, we discover that this inner realm is so rich with so many variety of qualities.
Mm,
And those qualities are really very enriching and very transforming in terms of basic sanity, in terms of health, in terms of functionality, in terms of all of that. And it also came whenever I experienced any of those qualities with some kind of a virtue, some
mm,
kind of a feeling, some kind of like something ethical or something, um, uh, I don't know. It sounded like almost religion, you know? Like I remember when I first encountered inner gold, solid inner gold. And I felt, oh, this feels like honesty.
mm,
Honesty is golden, you know? And when I felt sometimes like my love for my children, it was like fluff and nice and all of those things. Then I discovered, oh, there is something called like coming through essence, fluff, pink, and it felt appreciative love, you know. So I thought,
mm,
oh, so much of what I was raised when I was in Kuwait, I was raised to cultivate virtues, to cultivate ethics. Kuwait was very poor when I was born there. At the time, it was before the discovery of oil.
mm.
And
You're that old?
yeah, I'm that old, really, before, very old. And it was a mud village.
Mm, mm,
Everybody almost knew everybody, like really mud village, not too big to be entangled and connected with others. And I remember there was like a code, and the code is what people measure each other with.
mm,
And it wasn't about how powerful you are, how rich you are, how dominant you are, how much authority. No, it was on how much values you're carrying within you.
mm,
Are you an ethical person? Do you have something that is really virtuous? And I remember I was taught, I was raised like a Muslim. I never followed, I was rebellious like any teenager at that time, no, I don't want religion. But I remember that Islam, uh, that the Prophet Muhammad didn't come just with Islam. Islam means surrender. And surrender is basic invitation to surrender to our being, to existence. So it's not a religion. It is an invocation, it is an invitation, and it has rule of how to do it, like that. But the Prophet Muhammad said that his mission was not to bring Islam. That was a byproduct. That was a needed step. That his mission was to complete the nobility of character.
huh, I love that.
Stuck in my heart, in my mind, what is this nobility of character? What is he really talking about? What is this? And why is it so important? Then, of course, it turned out into like uh, social conditioning and family conditioning and cultivating of a healthy superego or unhealthy superego, healthy ego, non-healthy ego, behavioral, all of those things. but then it got coated by the religion,
Yeah.
and religion used it to go to hell and heaven. They didn't make it understandable. Why is it? Why should I be honest? Why should I be noble? Why should I be goodness? All of those things. It felt like some kind of cultivation of character. Yes,
Mhm.
that's true. We need to cultivate our ego, our structure, to be in alignment with something authentic. So when I began to learn the essential state, with each one came an ethical code. I was surprised. Oh my God. I realized essence, for example, was the authentic personality that I lost. Okay? I lost my authentic personality that I was given by God, a soul that has certain qualities. And when I lost it, I cultivate an ego, which is an imitation of that self. I cultivated personality, which is a funky structure that doesn't really match the divine structure I was given, but it was like replacing the old uh, personality structures that are not real, that are even honesty is not honesty. It is imitation of honesty. It's behavioral, it's thinking, while honesty was solid gold. So when
Mhm.
I lost solid gold, I learned to be honest, so I don't lose it completely. I attempt to connect to it. So when essence came, it felt like this would replace my old personality, you know, that I was made of something very precious, light and divine substances, golden substance, silver, platinum, diamond, pearls. Was like all of a sudden a universe of richness and an essential character that I was born with, God
Mhm.
given, a soul that made it so beautiful, so wonderful, that got replaced by ego and personality. So the essential work came to heal the psychological, distortions, the mental, all of those things, and correct us back to who we are, our original, authentic personality. So it was healing in psychological and physical and all of that. Also, I discovered that essence was healing. There are many, many things that we suffer from physically due to the loss of certain qualities of essence. For example, some people suffer from depression,
Mhm.
psychological depression. Some people suffer very close chronic fatigue syndrome. Yeah,
Mhm.
they're exhausted, they're non-functional, they're all of those things. During the unfoldment, through the unfoldment of essence, I worked with some of them, and I noticed, including me, I was very depressed. And the moment I got into my essence, certain energy started to move. And whenever this energy moved, I felt uplifted. I felt vital. I felt up. And I work with a client who are suffering from depressions or chronic fatigue syndrome. And whenever this quality came, these symptoms started to go. Depression lifted off, chronic fatigue lifted off. And when I examined those qualities, what they are, one of them was like red essence, we call it. It's an energy, vital, hot, stored in the right side, mostly in the liver and in the pelvis floor. And it has sometimes mixed with it anger. And when it's purified and released from anger, aggression, fear, this energy begins to move in the body. And when it moves in the body, it gives vitality. Some
Mhm.
people were hyper. They cannot sleep. They cannot relax. They cannot, all of those things. And when they started to do um, essential work, breathing, relaxation, connecting, processing their issues, they began to soften. And when they softened, certain qualities started to show up again. And each time this quality showed up, their body softened, their mind, their psyche softened. And when I examined that quality, it turned out to be golden essence. And this golden essence, when it comes, it takes away the hyperness in the system and whatever diseases that come with it. You know, many diseases come with hypertension. Many diseases come with fatigue syndrome. The liver could get sick. Pineal gland could get jammed. So essence also turned out to be the healing agent for so much of our psychosomatics, physical illnesses caused by loss of certain energies. And we find out that also the essential state that relate to those lost qualities. How did I lose my red essence? How did I lose my golden essence? You know, it was a huge discovery. At one time I used to take notes for, like many illnesses that was there. I knew that uh, releasing black essence heals so much of cancers, and the divine essence heals even further cancers. And I discovered red essence heals a bunch of fatigue and, as I said, depressions. And red heals a lot of asthma and lungs and what they call it. Many women suffer from it monthly, the headache,
PMS, you mean
PM,
migraines?
migraine
PMS?
headaches. Yeah. And so much of it turned out to be that has to do with the genital hole. Quality is missing space. So all of a sudden there was a beautiful map unfolding. And I wrote some of it. I encourage some of my students who are healers and who are doctors to continue. And I hope they continue. I hope we'll have an encyclopedia of essential state relating to the physical illnesses so we can also deal with them from the emotional, from the essential energies, and from also the biological, all of those things. It's really a field that's waiting, but I know it exists. So this was another manifestation of essence, healing agent for psychological and physical. But as I said, also came with it virtues, ethics. And so I could teach gold, for example, and talk about it in terms of maybe relaxing and embodying and all of those things. And I was very careful about not teaching so much emphasis on the moral and ethical, because people at that time that I was teaching wanted liberation and freedom. And I don't want super ego to tell me behave and be a good boy or a good girl, you know.
Yeah. The
So
reason they
I
were there was they were rebelling from religion in the first place, right?
exactly, and some of them were just became rebellious because they were rebelled against society, rebelled against cultures, and you name it. So I had to be very careful, but it always stayed in my heart that someday, when the students reach a level of integrity, integration, and owning, that they have to see that essence is also the ethical code. Creation is made ethically too. That we as a human being, as a soul, made of elements, gold, pearl, diamond, jewels, really for a person who sees the inner realm of essence, these are energies congealed in colors and light and densities and all of those things. But they are also the ethical code. Each one is ethic itself. It's not like we need to cultivate ethics. We are ethical creatures. We're made of love, honesty, nobility, dignity. These are the elements that we associate them to the character, but they are really an integral nature of essence. This quality is what we call honesty. This quality is what we call nobility. The pearl is nobility. When you have your pearl, you really feel you're a noble person. You connect to the divine within, you connect to the sacred, and you want to walk that walk. So little by little, it began to really show that the ethical code is not a religious, is not a social conditioning, is not a super ego. It is an actual creation. We are made of this. It's not like I need to cultivate flesh. I am. My body has a flesh. It's not like I need to cultivate bones. I am made of bones. I need to discover my creation and instead of create it that way. Flesh
Okay,
is
so
flesh.
let me ask, when you started to realize this or experience it, would you say that you were in touch with essential qualities first and then realized they were connected to ethics or virtues, or the other way around?
No, I mean, I was raised to be ethical and I loved it. I was raised like, yeah, be honest, be truthful, be, all of this. Avoid going the bad guy's way. you know. And we used to, as children in Kuwait at that time, we used to pride ourselves and show ourselves to our parents that we are really this way, you know. We're really noble. We're really trying to be nobility. And if we break in that nobility, sometimes I remember I wish to be buried under the ground.
Oh.
Really, to that extent of shame, like I don't want to fall from this grace, from this ideal. But it was so much, on the ego level, on the personality level, trying to hold it when in the developmental stages it was hard to hold. It was missing. But I was really blessed to have lived for a certain time in Kuwait when it was those qualities were rich.
Yeah,
Kuwait
wholesome.
city, yeah, was mud city, was mud village, but it was like the mud was golden. It was like a holy city. It was a little Jerusalem by the sea, golden city by the sea. And then when oil came and money came, and in the 60s, it exploded into defilement, into greed, into power, into brother kills brother, cutthroat competition.
Hedonism.
Oh, yes, materialism, greed, power, all of those things. And I remember 66 to 68, I was in America. And every week they send me a message saying, do you remember this man? I said, yes, I remember. He was one of the seniors. He said, he just passed away. In that year, so many of the senior citizens passed away. The reason was their sons started selling out for power, for money, for greed, and they couldn't endure it. They left one after the other. The nobility of their soul would not let them stay. Yeah. We have a fish in Kuwait. I used to be a fisherman. I like to fish. You know, there is a fish, you could never catch it because the moment you catch it and you pull it, it hits itself against the rock till it dies or set free. And we call it the noble fish. You can't catch this fish.
Oh.
So a noble soul will die rather than fall. It's idealization, and that's why I left Kuwait. After some time, I felt I can't live. The society and the momentum and materialism and greed has taken over so much. So I came to the state where I continued my, studies, education, and work, and to cultivate this teaching. So I was
Where
raised
you
with
found
it.
more greed.
Yes, more greed here, but at least they leave you alone to do your thing. I was given a chance here, really grateful for it. And the Americans were at that time different from now. In the 60s, I came 64. The Americans were really, the salt of the earth, goodness, honesty. The American dream was the dream everybody wished to have: a home, a car, children, family, school, something decent. Now it has been conquered, and it's not anymore America. America is not America anymore to me. And it really breaks my heart to see what's happening to America and to the Americans. So I was raised with them. I had them. So when I discovered essence, it was easy to hook, to say, oh, this is this. This is this, because gold, I could feel it, but I didn't know it was gold. In meditation and spiritual opening, I could see it is golden. I could feel it's golden. So I named gold, and it felt honest. Oh, this is honesty, and this is sweetness, and this is generosity, and this is all of those things. So it was a matching between what I was raised to be, which I couldn't live up to because it's very hard to live to that level of nobility of character. No matter what you do, you fall short.
Yeah.
Thou shalt not get angry, but I get angry. Thou shalt not, whatever. We fell from the commandments. But later on, and especially in the last years of my life, as I settled down, I saw, oh, this is an ethical kingdom we live in. It's a really virtuous kingdom. It's built from these elements. And these elements are very beautiful. Love, consciousness, generosity, kindness. These are the virtues. These are the ethics. Thou shalt not kill, live and let live. Don't accumulate what you are accumulating out of greed. What are you going to do with it? What are you looking for from all this greed, destroying the planet, destroying nations, You know, for what? You know, sometimes I really cannot understand those billionaires. You know, it's like you have a private airplane flying, okay? You have yachts flying. You have 100, you know, like what are you gonna do with them? Each one give you a little feeling, and you
Mhm.
cannot maintain the feeling. You might have a joy, you might have excitement, then goes away. Then you have to buy another something, and you have to do something, you know. And they are all transitory because inside all of them there is the blockages to those qualities. You know, those qualities come from being. Only in being there is constancy of happiness, constancy of love, constancy of peace. They are who we are. If we get involved in accumulating power and greed and destruction, we lose the ethical code. As you know, Dalai Lama said about the president, he said he lost his moral compass, and the moral compass is a quality of essence. We call it the cathedral. They call it the compass. It's an inner structure. It's the voice of conscience within. To me, those people lost it,
Yeah.
and whatever they get is transitory. Today you get nice feeling by having this meal. Tomorrow when you eat this meal, you don't get it the same way. But if you have essence that gave you the joy of that feeling, you have it with any meal. Essence is permanent.
Mm.
This realm is transitory. It might awaken it. You know? So I find the riches, the meaning, the virtues, the ethic is really this essential domain. You know, it is our healing, it is our nature, it is who we are, and it is the ethics. This is an ethical kingdom. And in the hidden realm, there is Jerusalem. There is the holy cities. And the holy cities where the high being dwell, Shambhala or Jerusalem or Mecca or holy city. These are where the high beings dwell in those in their soul in those cities. These cities, the structures in them, there are structures in them. There's palaces and domes and cathedrals and mosques, and we see it and we download it. That's sacred architecture. We see the divine structure and we download it on earth. But those essential structures have meaning to them. They are all virtues and knowledges and ethics and moral. It's an ethical kingdom. We're trying to download it in this material world, in this material kingdom. So this material kingdom can be peaceful. It's a big job to transform this realm. But we need our essential code to guide us, to be our GPS. So essence is who we are. Ethics is who we are. Healing is what we are made of, ability to heal. So I thought I'd just add this to see what the essential domain really mean.
Well, I love that, Faisal. If you were to guide people to be more discerning about the essential structures, essence itself, and the structures and um, the moral codes, how would you guide people to get more in touch with that?
I mean, we did a lot of videos about seeing the different issues we have in our mind and our personality, and
Mhm.
how those issues are blocking different parts of our, not just mind, and distorting our personality and the limitation of our ego, but they also contract our bodies, you know. And I also connected it with the Enneagram, that this fixation controls this part of the body and this part of the. So we have a map of
Okay.
psychological issues, of bodily location, and qualities lost. So we did so many variety of essential state in which we said this quality has to do with this issue, and it has to do with this location and this origin in childhood. So there is a teaching that can do that, and there is a methodology of how to do it. You know, meditation, inquiry, presencing, private sessions, retreat. So it's a huge, what we are teaching, I believe, is a new lineage,
Mhm.
an immense lineage that's integrating all the lineages, embracing all the lineages, and taking the jewels of them and
Yes.
leaving the baggage. You know, actually, really, we have Buddhism here and Sufism here and Kabbalah here and Christianity here and you name it, shamanism, all saying, what are they teaching? It turned out they are all pointing to what we lost, our soul, our being, and that's our essential kingdom where we come from and how to integrate it. So it's a whole teaching and lineage. And each time we meet, I take one piece and do it. Now I am so much emphasizing in our school the the cultivation of the ethical code, that it is really now an integral part to establish it, you know. And there is an in-depth study about where am I broken? You know, first to see the denial. Are you honest? No, I'm not honest. You know, nobody says that, right? Everyone says, you know,
I'm a really good person.
I'm a good person.
That's
Yes,
what
so
everyone says.
everywhere I'm good. I'm honest. I am this. Nobody see it, right? So first we go through the denial, the stage, and all of that. Then the person says, "Really, I am not honest. No, I'm really not honest." Okay, then comes the beginning to say, okay, why am I not honest? Because it serves me to deceive. It says I get what I want, I get this and that. They see the superficial gains, but then they see that it's really making them loathe themselves. Somehow, something in them cannot settle down. You know? And then the more they see that, the more they begin to feel that they're not being honest because there is something in them very wounded, very broken, and they defend against it. There is shame, there is breakage when they were forced to fall from honesty or dignity or nobility. You know, something broke in the human. We call it the breakage point. And the personality, and the structure, and the unconscious, we get broken. We were our soul, and our soul was virtuous through the encounter with society, with upbringing. We lost those virtues. By time, we lost connection to essence completely most of the time. You know, some areas we don't even know, we can't even reach. That's a breakage point. Some people are broken in honesty. Some people are broken in integrity. Some people are broken in nobility. Some people are broken in courage. Some people are broken in lack of compassion. You know, some people are broken in you name it, variety. So to begin to admit that there is lack of this and that, and to say I am really suffering from that, you know. Then like somebody want to work, but says I'm afraid to go work. You know, before he would say no, nobody wants me. This world sucks, and I don't want to. Then they say no, it's me. I am afraid. Then we go, where is your fear coming from? They say, oh, each time I wanted to go out in the world, my father will beat me down, or my mother will. Or, then they see their breakage point. They go to the fear. They go to the breakage point. Then courage begin to unfold. They feel, oh, I have courage in my soul. You know, I can go out, I can talk to people, I can work, I can do these things, you know. So the virtue of courage begin to open. And then they become more courageous in doing something that's really meaningful, even if the society doesn't want, even if, you know, but they stay with that dignity. You know, I will not betray this, I will not. So there is a way to, you know, very specific process to see how we got broken and lost the ethical kingdom and the ethical code and the ethical soul that we are. You know? So this is also part of the teaching that we have, you know, and now we're revising all the teaching in the school to include this, but we cannot get to this. I had to take students about 25 years journeying in essence and getting all the goodies until they love their essence and they love their soul and then they say there is a price to it. You know? If you violate that code, you lose it. Because some people thought, in fact, many gurus, they thought they could violate the ethical code, you know, because they're enlightened, they're free, you know. One guru says to those young women, sleep with me and you will be enlightened. You know, like,
Not just one.
not to 100.
I
You know?
mean,
Yes. And another one said to the woman, tie your tube, don't have children against enlightenment, you know. and be a sexual object for the guys who are, just hungry predators, you know. And the guys just go and follow your animal instinct, and that's it.
Mm.
And it led to deterioration of character, to lack of morality, ethics, code. And we need that. A soul without shame becomes a sociopath. We need some moral. We need some little healthy shame to say, don't do it. Otherwise, somebody will go and rape a child.
Mm.
You know?
Mm.
So there is need for moral, ethical code to protect the soul so it doesn't fall. So we have a healthy society. Then that helps us connect to our being. Many of those beings said, be free, be enlightened. You can do whatever you want to now, right? And in the name of freedom and enlightenment, they violated the Holy Kingdom. Really, the Holy Kingdom, which is, I think after this, I would like to talk about the
The Holy Kingdom.
yeah, about the what they call it. How do I see the universe is made of? The bigger picture, little bit.
So that's what you're saying. Universe is the Holy Kingdom. Heaven and
Yes,
hell, as it would say in the Bible,
yes,
which means everything, right?
it means everything. So
Yeah.
we'll talk about it a little bit, but I
Okay.
just wanted to emphasize the beauty of essence, the richness of essence, the healing of essence, how it is so wonderful, but it is also virtuous.
Yeah. That's so
We
beautiful.
need to cultivate merit, we cultivate virtue to maintain it. Otherwise, it get defiled.
Mm.
It really get defiled. Sexuality, just like that, it get defiled. You know, I remember Don Juan. I tell my students, of Don Juan with Carlos Castaneda and many shamans and teachers. They said, when women may go from one man to another, every man she sleeps with, he leaves a hook in her, sucks her energetically
Mm.
for the rest of her life.
Wow.
Yeah, we don't know this knowledge. We don't know why they say, thou shalt not do this and thou shalt not do that, because we are lacking. So sometimes we need to do what we are told, even if I don't understand it, right? Till I understand it. You know? So there is a lot of these things that, I feel the ethical code was a guideline,
Yeah.
was
Yeah.
a moral compass, you know.
Faisal, question: What aren't don't the women also hook the men, or is it just the other way around?
I didn't hear that. I mean, they might hook them emotionally, energetically,
Uh,
but the man enters the female. The female doesn't enter the man.
yeah.
The female internalizes the man.
Hmm.
His frequency runs into her whole body, you know.
Wow.
Yeah, it's different from that. I'm sure there is emotional merging and hooking and all of those things. It's not like men also suffer. Men all have all kind of these issues. But I didn't know that this stage. And I worked with women. Then they began to see, as if there is hooks to their womb,
Mm.
as if there's some energetic attachment
Hmm.
holding, and it has images of that guy and images. Then when they release it, felt, oh my God, and imagine like a man sleep with this woman today and goes, like I used to go, I went to an ashram. It was like that. Go jumping from one to another as if, oh,
Yeah.
they are reliving the teenage and sexuality. I said, yeah, it's nice to live your teenage sexuality, but it has to be sacred. Yeah. Jumping from one to another. And, like those women got so violated, you know, really so violated. I didn't know what it was till I
Mm.
learned about it more, then studied it, then practiced it to see. And it is one of the, you know, setback there is. Sexuality is
Well, it's
very sacred.
yeah. I mean, it's interesting that Carlos Castaneda said that, and but that's what you're experiencing in your one-on-one work with people when they go in psychically. That there is some sort of hook from 20 years ago or whatever. I mean,
Yes, yes, yes. That's amazing. There are so many things sometimes we don't know because we don't know the nature of a creation. You see, like the elephant in the dark. You know,
mhm,
there's elephants in the dark room, and somebody touches it, it's like a brush touching the tail. It's like, I don't know, flab touching the ear. Each one goes and comes out, describe the elephant as what they touched. You know?
Yeah.
And then when they opened the light and the light, they saw a creature, a whole being there, an elephant.
Mm.
We don't know the nature of creation. We don't know how we are created, what we are made of. What is the nature of the kingdom? What's the connection between the three domains that we talked about? You know, there's the absolute, there's the essential, there's the material. There is an influx going on. There is a harmony. There is something amazing, something really remarkable of this kingdom. Because we don't know, would somebody get enlightened and see one little piece, and then they don't deal with their ego enough and their enough structures in their unconscious structure, then their beast, there's something called the beast within, this hideous part in our unconscious, in the human unconscious, that always after trapping the soul, this part hates the soul within, hates the
Mm.
light within. It's wounded part, it's shamed part, it's a humiliated part, you know. It's part of the ego structure, personality structure. We call it the beast within.
And
The
wants
and
to keep you down to the lowest common
yes,
denominator.
yes, it is. It's the
Yeah.
one that lives in the underworld.
Mm.
It's been
Hmm.
casted down. It's full of shame, full of brokenness, and that part hates God, hates the light, hates this virtuous kingdom. And as you have broken me, I'll broke you. As you have defiled me, I'll defile you. It's in a constant revenge, hate journey in the unconscious, sabotaging what the soul journeys to achieve. You know, seen many of my students really blossoming and all of this. Then the next day, the bees come and sabotages it. You know, then they have to start all over again. And so they cultivate and they lose. And by time they cultivated the wisdom, the knowledge, the awareness, the consciousness to see that the enemy is within. There is no Satan outside. There is no devil outside. It's within. It is nothing but us. It's a part of us, wounded, and this part full of shame and wound and want to damage. You know, and it blames the soul, the light, and it blames God. If God didn't put me here, and if my soul hadn't abandoned me, I would not, I would not have been in the hand of this mom or in the hand of this dad or in this society. So this part is an archetype existing in the unconscious. It takes a long time to excavate it. It's sneaky, it's intelligence. I wish we have its intelligence.
Mm.
It's, it's I don't know, king and queen of the unconscious,
Mm.
knows how to maneuver everything. You know? It's more conscious than we, our consciousness. You know? So before I couldn't reveal all of those things till I began to understand after 37, 40 years with tracing, tracking, stalking the beast. Now I understand it. I understand its complexities, and I still try to deal with this segment and that segment. And my students now stronger, especially the teachers. They know it now. It's familiar. They know where it comes from, what's it about. So now they feel more protective of their treasure, of their essence, and they know how to salvage it from these patterns. So I said, okay, now the last part is the ethical, that we are ethical beings living in an ethical kingdom, you know, and the beast trying to break that as well as other things. You know, for some people, it sabotages their intelligence or their heart or their, will or something. Quite a
I think of
story.
I think of the beast whenever something happens where I feel a defensive impulse come up in somebody says something and I want to defend. I think of that as like right on the edge of the beast. Like there it is, trying to come out. Right?
Yes, 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 yes. And I think we did a couple of videos on the beast and the fall and the anguish of that lost part of the soul. I don't know what they call it, Annana or Lilith of the underworld, that part of the psyche that's living in shame, disgrace, and vengeful, destructive, horrifying. When you see it, you see the Medusa, you see the devil, you see, you name it, it comes in all kind of form, but it is an inner structure in the human being. In the beginning, it originated as a protection from their beast.
Mm.
They were attacking the child needed to defend itself.
Protection from the family beast, from
Yeah,
the
from the
parents'
family
beast.
base, from the whole of the family and all of that, or the society we live in. So that part used to fight for us. It used to be a wrathful deity. It used to be Mahakala or Kali or something like that. It was defending us, but by time it get defeated. They hate me, I hate them. That's the only way I can stop them. If I open my heart to them, I get hurt again. So the child opens his heart, mother beats it, goes again to her, you know, runs away, cries, feels loved again, goes back to her, they get beaten again. Or father, so little by little, this part lost its openness, its innocence, its sweetness, and became like them. So it is part of our soul that got contaminated. And it need to come, and it need to show how much it hates our souls.
Mm.
You know? That was it. I hate you to my soul. Get out of existence. Then it wasn't just for that. When God said, God, you're I will not even tend toward you. I will not even consider you as part of my journey. 10 years in enlightenment, an essential state before I reach the encounter of my peace with God.
Oh,
Yeah. I encountered before, but it was many encounters. Not, but that was really the stand, like, I will not let your kingdom be.
well, I think that's a whole other conversation.
Another conversation, yes, we will. Very
Okay.
interesting part of the journey.
Yeah,
Yeah.
beautiful.
Yes.
Beautiful. Thank you, Faisal.
Thanks, Sherry.